Lesson 8-1 Ratios and Rates, and in this lesson you'll learn to express ratios and rates as fractions. And when are you ever going to use this? Knowing how to express ratios as fractions can help you determine better buys in a grocery store. And the word that we want to define in this particular lesson is the word rate. Okay, so the table shows the cards in a card game. Notice that 24 of the 108 cards are purple. Okay, you can compare these two numbers by using a ratio. Recall that the ratio compares 24 to 108 and can be written in several ways. So remember what a ratio is. A ratio is a comparison of two numbers by division, and the ratio of 24 out of 108 can be written as 24 to 108, 24 out of 108, 24 colon 108, and 24 over 108 as a fraction. Okay, so a common way to express a ratio is a fraction in simplest form. Okay, so if we want to express as a fraction in simplest form, okay, we have 24 over 108. Okay, we're missing the number 1. We'll add it. Okay, so 24 over 108 is equal to 2 over 9, because the GCF of 24 and 108 is 12, and divide both of them by 12, end up with a fraction 2 over 9. Okay, again, the GCF of 12 and 108 is 12. Sorry, 24 and 108 is 12, and then we simply divide the numerator and denominator by the GCF. So in this case, 2/9 of the cards are purple. So the ratio can also be expressed as 2 to 9, 2 colon 9, and 2 out of 9. Okay? Let's take a look at example number 1. Express the ratio that compares the number of strawberries to the total number of berries as a fraction in simplest form. So these are all your total number of berries. And if you notice, okay, there are 4 strawberries, okay, out of 10, the total number of berries. So you have number of strawberries is 4, the total number of berries is 10, and then we find that the GCF of 4 and 10 is 2, so we simply divide the numerator by 2 and divide the denominator by 2. We end up with the ratio in simplest form, 2/5. Okay, so that's what a ratio is. A little bit of a recall there, okay, a review. So let's talk about another word. If the two quantities that you are that you are comparing have different units of measure, the ratio is now called a rate. Okay, so again, if they have two different units of measure, the two numbers that you are trying to compare, it's called a rate. For example, 125 miles over 2 hours compares the number of miles traveled to the number of hours the trip took. So basically saying, okay, the rate of the trip was 125 miles in 2 hours. So they traveled 125 miles in the time of 2 hours. Definition of rate is a ratio of two measurements that have different units. Okay, and let's take a look at how we apply this. Rates, okay, are usually expressed in per unit form. So when say per unit form, the number of the denominator is 1. So when you talk about a rate, okay, it is usually, let me make that thinner. Okay, so when you talk about a rate, it is usually expressed per unit form. Okay, and when you say per unit form, okay, the denominator okay, the denominator in this particular rate is equal to 1. Okay, so let's take a look at example number 2. Express the ratio 7 inches of rain in 28 days as a rate. So we want to express this per unit form. Okay, that means the denominator should be equal to 1. So in this case, we have 7 inches over 28 days, and we want to express our denominator to 1. That means we divide both sides by 28. So to be able to make 28 into 1, we divided the denominator by 8. Since we divided the denominator by 8, we need to divide the numerator by 8 also. And that's why you have 0.0, oh, sorry, 0.25. Okay? And the total rainfall is equivalent to 0.25 of an inch each day. So this, if you read this, this simply means 0.25 of an inch per day. Okay. So the fraction bar will indicate per day or each day. Okay. Let's take a look at this example in Money Matters. Example number 3. Okay. Dara purchased a 14.5 ounce bag of chips for $3.19. What was the cost per ounce? So this already gives you an idea that when you say per ounce, okay, you're saying per 1 ounce. Okay, that means when you say per 1 ounce, that means your denominator would be 1 ounce. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. That this already gives you a clue. Your denominator is 1 ounce. So what do we know? You know that the 14.5 ounce bag of chip costs $3.95. Let me erase this. Okay. You need to find the cost per ounce. So use a rate to compare the cost to the weight. Okay. So you have $3.19. Okay. So $3.19 over 14.5 ounces. And since it says per 1 ounce, you want to make your denominator 1. So to be able to make 14.5 into 1, we divide this by 14.5. Okay, that means divide the numerator and denominator by 14.5 to get a denominator of 1. Then 3.19 divided by 14.5 will give you 0.22. So the cost is 22 cents per ounce. Okay, and if you want to check your answer, you get the number 0.22 times 14.5 will be equal to 3.19. So the answer is correct. The secret word for this lesson is chargers. The secret word for this lesson is chargers. Okay, and thank you for watching.